If you needed any more proof that we're living in a nightmare dystopia, John Hopkins suggests that people should take morality pills so that they'll follow orders and wear masks. You best start believing in nightmare dystopias. You're in one. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, we're going to talk about this disturbing article. One of my followers on my Discord server showed me the story, and when I saw it, I could not believe it. Really? Morality pills? Drugging Americans? Here you can see a Twitter user named Phil. John Hopkins deleted their tweet about this article, but they are suggesting that the best way to tackle COVID would be to forcefully compel Americans to take a drug that renders them complacent and accepting of orders. Where have I heard this before? Oh yeah, this reminds me of Equilibrium. It was a movie about a dark dystopian future in which emotions are eliminated as they are seen as the cause of all war and conflict via a pill. Yup. They drug everyone and turn them into emotionless robots. And that's literally what they're suggesting. So here you can see on the conversation. Morality pills may be the US's best shot at ending the coronavirus pandemic, according to one ethicist. Doesn't sound very ethical now, does it? Now, before we look at this story, and from what I've seen, it's absolutely insane. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications for more content. And if you like this video, please consider giving it a share. So, let's just jump right into this, folks. What is their magical cure to us Americans who have freedom? The story begins. COVID-19 is a collective risk. It threatens everyone, and we all must cooperate to lower the chance that the coronavirus harms any one individual. Among other things, that means keeping safe social distances and wearing masks. But many people choose not to do these things, making the spread of infection more likely. So, now I've seen a lot of people, and I was one of the first ones on the COVID-19 boat. I called out the pandemic. I saw it coming. I saw that people were getting infected in China, and I knew it would spread. And for a long time, I was pro-mask. But one thing that I do believe is that people should not be forced to wear masks or forced to take vaccines. The reason for this is simple. The only mask that's going to protect you is an N95 mask. They may be a little bit helpful, sure, but not nearly enough as people think. But this goes beyond morality policing. This is morality policing on nightmare fuel. Now, what is their justification for drugging the populace? When someone does not choose to follow public health guidelines around the coronavirus, they're defecting from the public good.
You should be ashamed. Calling yourself a community that cares.
Oh, but we do care, Nicholas.
It's all about the greater good.
The greater good.
How can this be for the greater good?
The greater good.
Shut it!
Now the article continues. It's called The Moral Equivalent of the Tragedy of the Commons. If everyone shares the same pasture for their individual flocks, some people are going to graze their animals longer, or let them eat more than their fair share. Oh, see, now we're talking about communism, ruining the commons in the process. Selfish and self-defeating behavior undermines the pursuit of something from which everyone can benefit. So, I think we can see where this is going. It took them 2 paragraphs to start talking about socialism. Now, the author of this is a Mr. Parker Crutchfield. I think I'll call him Cuckfield. He's the Associate Professor of Medical Ethics, Humanities, and Law at Western Michigan University. Now, they go on to say that democratically enacted enforceable rules mandating things like mask wearing and social distancing might work if defectors could be coerced into adhering to them. But not all states have opted to pass them or to enforce the rules that are in place. Now, you're beginning to see the mental illness here. The stupidity. The whole idea about democratically enforced policies is that people vote for these policies. A lot of the rules that have been passed in these states were not chosen democratically. In fact, they were chosen authoritarianly. Okay? You have these politicians making the decisions with nobody's vote saying, if you don't wear a mask, you'll get arrested. If you don't take the vaccine, we're gonna take your children away. This is not democracy. Now, this has nothing to do whether it's a good... Look, a mask doesn't protect you. I've seen the masks that people are wearing. They're garbage. It's basically for looks. I'm sorry. Either get an N95 airtight mask, or you really have no protection at all. Now, this guy goes on to claim that he's a researcher in bioethics. Yeah, is it really ethical to drug the population? But we're getting to that, folks. Hold on to your horses, because it's about to get bumpy. He goes on to say, my research in bioethics focuses on questions like how to induce those who are non-cooperative to get on board and do what's best for the public good.
It's all about the greater good.
The greater good.
Now, here's his solution. He says, to me, it seems like the problem of coronavirus defectors, wow, that's an amazing word, could be solved by moral enhancement. And this is what he says. Like receiving a vaccine to beef up your immune system, people could take a substance to boost their cooperative, pro-social behavior. Could a psychoactive pill be the solution to the pandemic?
The disease is human emotion. At the cost of the dizzying highs of human emotion, we have suppressed its abysmal lows. And you, as a society, have embraced this cure. Ethereium.
Yep. That seems like a lot of fun now, doesn't it? They want to drug your children. Now, the author of this article goes on to say, it's a far-out proposal that's bound to be controversial, but one I believe is worth at least considering, given the importance of social cooperation in the struggle to get COVID-19 under control. It's too late, you morons. Look, back in February, not only did I call this a pandemic, I said that we should do an extreme lockdown. We should lock down the country. Well, it's too late now. But that's the point here. It's too late. Lockdowns will no longer work. It's over. We failed. All because of inept, largely, and I'm going to be honest here, largely Democratic politicians. They let the virus get out of control in the first place, and they're still doing it. You see these Democrat mayors, like in New York City, encourage the protests, which have not been peaceful, which have caused rioting, looting, and horrific behavior. They're spreading the virus right now. And then they have the gall to say, well, you know, you're not allowed to go out in groups of greater than 5, but, yeah, we don't mind a protest, riot, looting spree. And you want me to believe that? No, it's just such nonsense. But this is what they're doing, and they show a picture of Trump supporters, conservatives, saying, I want my life back. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful tyranny. Oh, the irony here. It's like the author doesn't even realize it. These people are saying that they want their freedom over tyranny. And what is he suggesting? Tyranny. It's a lot like 1984. He says, these are things that work to force people to follow the rules, so-called. Running a tally of what others are contributing. Observing others' behaviors. Communication and coordination before and during play. And democratic, implementation of an enforceable rule. Requiring contributions. So what he's really saying is that he wants thought policing, he wants data mining, Big Brother is watching basically, and he wants authoritarian rules that if you don't listen, they punish you. Now he goes on to say the following line. Promoting cooperation with moral enhancement. Moral enhancement, you say. Well, yeah, that's not disturbing at all. So he goes on to describe moral enhancement as the use of a substance to make you more moral. The psychoactive substances act on your ability to reason about what the right thing to do is, or your ability to be empathetic, or altruistic, or cooperative. He mentions a few chemicals that promote bonding, like oxytocin, psilocybin, etc., etc. The nerve of this man. Look at this paragraph, folks. These substances interact directly with the psychological underpinnings of moral behavior. Others that make you more rational could also help. Then perhaps the people who choose to go out maskless or flout social distancing guidelines would better understand that everyone, including them, is better off when they contribute and rationalize that the best thing to do is to cooperate. Why don't you tell that to all of the left-wing activists and BLM members who are out there gathering in large groups? What about Antifa? What about these left-wingers? Nothing about that, huh? Now, I love what he brings up. He says that moral enhancement has problems? Oh, you don't say. He says that although oxytocin can make people pro-social, it appears to encourage ethnocentrism. Sounds good to me. Yeah, Lord forbid that people actually have any racial awareness. Oh wait, I forgot. Everyone gets to have awareness except white people. Article said, okay. And this is it, folks. This is the nuke. Another challenge is that the defectors who need moral enhancement are also the least likely to sign up for it. As some have argued, a solution would be to make moral enhancement compulsory, or administer it secretly, perhaps via the water supply.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap.
How is this not satire? Was Alex Jones right about everything? You know, we're living in a very insane world when it kind of seems like everything Alex Jones ever talked about, I don't know, there might be something to it. He's talked for years about how the government wants to dump chemicals in the water supply to make people more subservient. This person should be fired, in my opinion, and shunned from society. Yes, I would like to see this author get cancelled. Someone this dangerous should not be in charge of any medical decisions for anyone. The article finishes, the scenario in which the government forces an immunity booster upon everyone is plausible, and the military has been forcing enhancements like vaccines or uppers upon soldiers for a long time. The scenario in which the government forces a morality booster upon everyone is far-fetched, but a strategy like this could be a way out of this pandemic, a future outbreak, or the suffering associated with climate change. Yeah, this is the average viewpoint of a left-wing activist. They're bonkers. He finishes, that's why we should be thinking of it now. No, it's not. What you're talking about is a nightmare. Peter Crutchfield? No. What you're talking about is a nightmare dystopia. And frankly, you should be fired. You shouldn't be on any board anywhere. Western Michigan University, these are the woke cultural Marxists that higher education hires these days. But you know what? That's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, if you like the work I do and want to support the channel, join me on Patreon or Subscribestar. If you want to donate, there's donor box and crypto. Links and addresses are down below. And why not check out my merch store? If you're looking for a new t-shirt, I've got the stuff for you. Anyhow, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.